Welcome back. Now, as always on a Wednesday, I'm joined by a Credland favourite, wordsmith and broadcaster Kel Richards. Kel, welcome to the program. Patricia wants to know the story behind the term virtue signalling. We hear it a lot, us use it a lot. Tell me what it means. I know what it means, but you tell me.
Okay, yes, you do know. But it was invented by a British journalist and writer named James Bartholomew in 2015 in The Spectator. And he intended it to mean sort of seeking approval with words, not actions. In other words, saying the right things, but not bothering to accompany them with anything. It's saying, not doing. That's what he called virtue signalling, and that's what he wants the expression to mean. So if someone decides to make a slogan, one of their slogans, you know, always was, always will be Aboriginal land, you would think, if they meant it, and they owned a house, they would hand over the house and the block of land title to the nearest native land council. But they don't. That's virtue signalling. It's saying but not doing.
Yes, indeed. Now, viewer Josiah, and what a nice name Josiah is, says our Prime Minister seems unable to read the room on The Voice, and he asks for the origin of the phrase read the room.
It's interesting, Rita. There are three stages that this goes through, the history of this expression. Read the room started out being used by burglars. They would case a place. They'd go in as pretending to be a tradesman or something and work out where the valuables were and how, and where the people lived and whether it was safe to break in and they get around. They had to read the room. That expression appeared in newspapers and was picked up by people who were public speakers and entertainers. They had to read the audience to see if they had their intention and were keeping them happy. So they adopted read the room to mean that. And then from the speakers and entertainers, it moved to politicians. And they used read the room to mean having political sense, being able to understand the mood of the electorate. And I think that's what our viewer is getting at, the idea that somehow Anthony Albanese just can't read the mood of the electorate on The Voice, hence can't read the room.
I had no idea that it started off about casing a property. It started off with thieves looking at somewhere they were going to rob. The origins are absolutely fascinating. This is why we love you, Kel, because every time you're on the show, we learn something new. Kel Richards, thank you so much for your time this evening.